peoples, another 10 minutes. Work with me. I guess that's just for me now. That's what it's feeling like. Just a ramble session, and just to maybe reflect on the theme of the day or the week or the moment. And I think I was thinking about these fires. My friend sent me an aerial shot of all these fires. I'm not super tuned into the news and what's going on and what happens. I mean, I know there's fires, obviously, especially here in Sac. I see it from the east and the west, and you just see the plumes of smoke, and it's pretty intense. And the winds today were pretty intense too. But it's crazy humbling. And right now, during this drawing, I was thinking about these fires and how, you know, all these elements around us, they humble us at times, just like this, where you know, we feel helpless. And I say we, even though we're relatively safe here in Sacramento, and not everybody had that feeling right now. But I think just in general, when we see this many fires around us, it's vulnerable. It makes us feel vulnerable, I think, to know that it's part of the process of how this earth works, and learning how to deal with it. Like, historically it's just been part of the process. No, it's just it comes on, and it comes on hard and strong, and it got me thinking about, you know, we all have fire inside of us. That's why our body stays warm, and we need heat. We're a hot type of peoples, and we have fires in us, you know. And metaphorically, I'm saying fires in, like, you know, the things we feed, whether it's our intellect or your creativity or your trauma or anything else. Like, you feed that fire, you feed that movement by either giving it more thoughts, or the stuff you watch, or the things you listen to, or the friends or people around you, or, you know, the things you consume. Your diet, you know, you're fueling a fire, and maybe it's a good fire, maybe it's a bad fire, but we have the capability of controlling those fires within us. And I think it's important to know which ones you're feeding, right? If we're thinking metaphorically, so consider that your health. Like, your health is something that needs to be kindled and maintained, and you want to control that fire now, because, you know, a swift heart attack, let's just call it, you know, a lightning strike, can hit you at any point if you're not taking care of yourself. And that's just that's just one example. There's many examples, and some we don't have control of, and some we do. And I think, you know, just taking out all the factors by taking care of your diet, taking care of your movement. You know, we're made to move. I think it's super important. And I'm saying this because I need to remind myself constantly about this too, because I realize that if I go maybe like a week without any strong movement, I just have bad nights of sleep. And it gets to a point where I'll sleep in one position for a long time, and I'll just get this crick or in my neck, or my back gets all sore, and it just takes 4 or 5 days to recover, to come back to health, or to full capacity, I guess. Anyways, and I think we also have this fire of maybe our own self-reflection, the way we think about ourselves. It's self-esteem, maybe we can call it. And I think it's easy to get caught up in self-pity. You know, I think there's a lot of this idea of kind of taking care of yourself and your, you know, figuring out your self-worth and stuff like that. And it's starting to become a little cliche. It's becoming very cliche, I think. And it's valid too. I think it's a valid thing to be concerned about. But also think, man, we got, you know, at some point give yourself some credit, and don't worry so much about, you know, more of that. Just, I don't know what you would worry about. There is legitimate worries, but we can handle that too. You know, because sometimes we worry about things that, let's say our Wi-Fi is slow, or I'm looking around like, what are the things I worry about? I have too much stuff. That's a worry I've had, and I'm just thinking, okay, that's a worry I can kind of help myself with. And And almost at times, like you can start looking around your life or look at yourself and start getting to self-pity and think about like, oh, I'm trying to help myself, and it's like, well, what are you doing to try to help yourself to fuel that fire, to build up that self-esteem in a healthy way? Because at the same time too, I think shame, embarrassment can be a healthy thing too, in moderation, right? But there comes to a point where if you hear yourself talk and all you're doing is self-pity, or you hear yourself think and you're just self-pitying yourself, you're just putting pity. I keep using pity. But if that's all you have for yourself, then there's got to be something done about it, right? And I'm saying this out of experience because there came a long time where the times I would vent to my friends and loved ones, and when I got into those emotional states, and I would hear myself. The more I would vent to people, the more I would hear myself, and all the same. I'd be complaining about the same stuff and feeling bad for myself, and it's just like, man, what am I doing? Like, I started thinking about my actions. Like, am I doing anything about it? And could I do anything about it? And in most cases, there could be something done, right? And there's plenty of examples. And there's also plenty of examples of people not making it through. And, we have a choice of which one we want to be, which one do we want to see ourselves in. We want to identify with those survivors because we come from survivors. Like, if it wasn't for our elders and our ancestors, we wouldn't be here, right? In the sense of, man, like we've survived as a people, whoever you are, your ancestors survived crazy wars and trauma and immigration and killing and rape and abuse, but we also survived by all the beautiful things in our lives also, with music, visual creations, dancing. There's a lot of stuff. Preservation too. Preservation of certain lands, of traditions, of ideas, of lifestyles, of gatherings, of celebrations. There's a lot of, and I think choosing to focus on those a little more slowly, and focusing on those. And I think one of the points I was thinking about too, during this drawing, when thinking about fires, about kind of expecting someone else to help you with your fire. And I think that's legitimate. Like, other people can help you, kindle your self-esteem and all that stuff, but ultimately it's up to you, because you can accept that too. We can learn how to accept help and accept help from ourselves. And so if there's something you've been wanting to do and you're waiting for someone to kind of push you to do it, become that person, so that way you're not waiting for somebody else, but in fact you might be that person for somebody else. And that if that's who you want to be around, then you can be around yourself being that person. If it's taking a singing class, or you want to start walking more, you want to start, you want to take piano lessons. I'm only thinking of things that like I want to do right now, but you can apply it to yourself. Like, what is it that you want to do, and do it, or figure out what it takes to do it. Whether it's signing up for a class, or, YouTube. YouTube is a crazy resource, crazy nice resource in the internet too, but it's a start. So figure out your fires, focus on what fires are going on in your body and your mind and your heart, and either start putting some out and start, feeding the rest of them, feeding the good ones, feeding the ones that are worth it. And at the same time, just understand, let's humble ourselves with this whole life, Let's be worthy of it, but let's also humble ourselves. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a beautiful day. We're on our way. Have a good one. Peace.